Okay, let's dive in. Imagine this. You stumble upon a lost smartphone. Pretty common.
Happens all the time.
But then, maybe you check the crypto app, and bam! There's $100,000 in Bitcoin sitting there.
Wow.
Now, that sounds like, a silent lottery win, doesn't it?
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But the sources we looked at, they paint a very different picture. Instantly finding that isn't a windfall, it's a legal duty, a serious one.
A duty, not just finders keepers.
Absolutely not. In Canada, this isn't some kind of legal gray zone. It's actually a surprisingly clear path towards committing a serious crime.
Okay, so what's the bottom line here? What are we really looking at?
The core finding is stark. Any attempt to take that Bitcoin for yourself, that's theft. Over $5,000 under the criminal code.
And the penalty?
Maximum 10 years in prison.
10 years. Okay, right. Let's definitely unpack that. So this duty you mentioned, what does that actually mean legally?
Well, under common law, the moment you pick up that lost property, you have an immediate positive duty. You have to try and find the true owner.
So I don't own it just because I found it?
Not even close. You instantly become what the law calls a Bailee. You're holding that phone and the Bitcoin on it in trust for whoever actually owns it.
Right, a Bailee, holding it in trust. But where does it cross the line into, actual theft? Especially if I just found it.
That's the concept of theft by finding. It's not about the initial discovery. The crime happens when two things align. First, the act of conversion. That's treating the property as if it's yours.
Like trying to access the Bitcoin or wiping the phone.
Exactly. And second, the intent to deprive the real owner of their property permanently. Put those together, and you've met the definition of theft under Section 32021 of the Criminal Code.
Okay, but hang on. Bitcoin isn't physical cash. It's digital. How can you legally steal something like that? Is it even considered property?
That's a key point, but Canadian law is actually quite clear on this now. Courts have looked at it, regulators like the CRA too, and they've classified cryptocurrency as intangible property. There was a case, FinTRAC versus Wall, for instance. So because it's property, even though it's intangible and not legal tender, it can absolutely be stolen. It's subject to theft laws, just like, say, jewelry or land.
Okay, so legally it's theft, no question. But let's get practical. That $100,000 reward, why is it, as you said, basically an illusion?
This is where it gets really interesting, because even if you wanted to commit the crime, there are two massive hurdles, huge ones.
Okay, what's the first?
Barrier number one is what you could call the technical fortress. Think about modern smartphones. They have full disk encryption, hardware security like the secure enclave on iPhones.
Pretty tough to crack.
Extremely tough.
Yeah.
But even if you somehow get past the phone's lock screen, that doesn't mean you have the Bitcoin, the crypto wallet itself. That needs its own separate private key or a seed phrase.
It's like another password, basically.
Way more complex. And without it, that Bitcoin is locked away. For the average person, even a tech-savvy one, accessing it is nearly impossible.
Wow. Okay. But let's play devil's advocate. Let's say, I don't know, some genius hacker finds the phone and does manage to get the private key. They're in.
Right. A very big if.
What happens the moment they try to turn that Bitcoin into actual cash?
That's barrier number two, the regulatory trap. To sell $100,000 worth of Bitcoin in Canada, you can't just do it anonymously in a park. You have to use a regulated platform.
An exchange, right? Like a money services business.
Exactly. And Canada has very strict anti-money laundering rules enforced by FinTRAC.
FinTRAC.
Any virtual currency transaction over CAD $10,000 triggers a mandatory report from that exchange straight to FinTRAC. A large virtual currency transaction report. Instantly. So the moment you try to liquidate those funds, the system flags it. It links you, the finder, directly to those potentially illicit funds.
So it's not just the theft charge anymore.
Oh, no. Now you're looking at potential charges for money laundering, too. That's another 5 years maximum and fines up to $2 million.
Good grief. So between the technical locks and the regulatory tripwires, it sounds like trying to keep it is just monumentally foolish.
That sums it up pretty well. The risk is enormous, and the reward is almost certainly out of reach.
So what's the right thing to do? The only realistic path?
The only lawful path, and really the only sensible one, is clear. First, make a reasonable, brief effort to find the owner without, digging through their private stuff.
Like checking the lock screen for contact info. or answering if it rings.
Precisely, just non-invasive stuff. If that doesn't work quickly, your immediate next step is to take the phone straight to the local police.
I just hand it over.
Yes, and crucially, get an official receipt. Document that you turned it in. That receipt proves you fulfilled your legal duty as a Bailee. It protects you.
That makes sense. And what if nobody ever claims it from the police? Do I eventually get it back?
That's another interesting point. Even if it goes unclaimed, police policies often prevent them from returning data-heavy devices like smartphones to the finder due to privacy concerns.
So you don't even get the phone back in the end, most likely.
Probably not. So there's really no incentive to hang on to it, hoping for the best.
So the takeaway seems pretty clear then. Finding that phone isn't a lottery ticket. It's a legal test.
Exactly. The risk, a decade in jail, huge fines, a criminal record massively outweighs a reward that's technically walled off and instantly flagged anyway.
It really puts it in perspective.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? If the law draws such clear lines around property and duty, even for complex digital things like Bitcoin on a lost phone, well, it makes you wonder, what other legal duties might we be acquiring, maybe without even realizing it, when we interact with other complex digital assets? Think about shared data, NFTs, things like that. Where do those lines fall? Something to mull over.